Hey you guys, I will be reading out loud your days 11 and 12 reading assignment in your review book. And while I read, I will be underlining important information and making some text annotations. Topic overview. Are you going to have a picnic or a tennis match today? Will the airplane be able to take off for Florida before approaching an ice storm arrives? Will there be a snow day and no school? So much of what we do and how you feel depends on the weather. These conditions affect such things as purchases, your health, how crops grow, the cost of heating and cooling, and the clothing you wear. Weather is the state or condition of the variables of the atmosphere at any given location or short period of time. Weather variables include temperature, air pressure, wind, moisture conditions, cloud cover, precipitation, and storms. Most of the weather changes occur in the troposphere, the part of the atmosphere immediately above Earth's surface. Variations in insolation cause heat energy to be unevenly distributed in the atmosphere. This heat energy tends to move toward a condition of more uniform distribution. That movement of heat energy results in the constant changes in the atmosphere that are a major cause of weather. Atmospheric temperature. Most of the world uses the Celsius scale to measure temperatures, but in the United States, people still use the Fahrenheit scale. However, people who work in the medical fields and other areas of science often use the Celsius or Kelvin scales. You should be able to convert between Fahrenheit, Celsius, Kelvin scales using the temperature sections of the Earth Science reference tables. Air temperature is usually measured using a liquid-filled glass tube called a thermometer. As the temperature of the liquid in the thermometer rises, the liquid expands and moves up the scale. Often, temperature is modeled on the maps and charts by the use of isolines called isotherms. Heating of the atmosphere. The sun is the original source of almost all the heat in the atmosphere. Generally, the more insolation at a location, the warmer the Earth's surface and the atmosphere will be. The atmosphere acquires much of its heat directly by contact with Earth's surfaces, but it also gains energy in other ways. The many ways in which the atmosphere is heated include the following. So I'm going to put over here more insolation equals warmer parts of Earth. Conduction moves heat from Earth into the atmosphere as air touches Earth's surface. Direct absorption of insolation from the sun by gases and aerosols moves heat into the atmosphere. An aerosol is any liquid or solid particle, such as solid smoke particles or liquid cloud droplets, suspended or floating within a gas. Absorption of a long-wave infrared radiation from Earth's surface moves heat into the atmosphere. Much of the infrared absorption by the atmosphere is due to the presence of water vapor, methane, and carbon dioxide. The larger the amounts of these greenhouse gases, the more heat is absorbed by the atmosphere. Condensation, change of water vapor to liquid water, and sublimation, deposition, change of water vapor directly to ice, release large amounts of stored heat, directly heating the atmosphere. Condensation is the sublimation release this energy when clouds, fog, dew, and frost form. The Coriolis effect, which results from the rotation of Earth and wind, causes friction where the atmosphere and Earth's surface meet. This friction produces heat, some of which is absorbed by the atmosphere. Convectional transfer of heat in the atmosphere. Heat energy is transferred with the atmosphere by convection. Differences in air density cause differences in air pressure. The air pressure differences, in turn, cause air to move in circular patterns. Convection currents, or cells. These air convection movements transfer heat within the atmosphere, especially the troposphere. Winds are the parts of convection currents that are parallel to the Earth's surface. Heating and cooling by expansion of compression. When a gas expands, its temperature decreases. When a gas is compressed or contracted, its temperature increases. Thus, when air in the atmosphere it expands and its temperature decreases. Similarly, when it descends, it is compressed and its temperature increases. Under average conditions, air temperature in the troposphere decreases with increasing altitude because as air rises, there is less air above it and less air pressure, and thus the air expands and cools. Okay, so I'm just going to note a few things here. Expansion of gas equals temperature decrease. Contraction of gas equals temperature increase.